Hello everybody, here I go. Here's a lesson about what I found out about myself. As I have gone through so much trauma and abuse in my life, it changed who I am. It changed the DNA and the design of who I am. So therefore, I saw that I didn't need to stop trying to get into these doors that closed for me when I went through this trauma and abuse and everything. Because with the trauma, I looked at like my uncles and people like that close to me differently. I didn't know who to trust. I built up these walls at 5 years old when I first experienced abuse, and I didn't know who to trust. But I was very aware and keen to people. Maybe that's why I'm an empath. Need love, but I needed love. I needed to learn how I could trust people, but I had that childlike trust still there for a lot of people, but there was a lot of fear there. So I've always lived with being afraid. So I withdrew from people. Also, with the abuse, my son's father, his relationship was like, you let me know when somebody come into my house. You let me know and call me first, because I may not want anybody in my house while I'm gone and all this stuff, and they got to take off their shoes and all this stuff. And I was always messing up and everything. He was the asshole in the background on the phone when I'm talking. And so I stopped calling people because I didn't want that argument after we got off the phone. And I didn't want these crazy looks while I was on the phone, creating tension while I'm having my conversation. So what I figured out is, like I said in my previous video, my grandma smiled when I went to New York and Las Vegas last summer, and a couple of years before, she was like, you're not going to stay home and take care of your people, your family, your mom. And she wanted me to do that, but something changed there. And I feel like what changed was she realized that I don't belong back down there with my family, even though they're my family, but I'm no longer designed to be sitting at their table. That's not my table anymore. My table is going to be one of hers, because I need healing, I need understanding, and I don't need someone judging me harshly when they're not a healer and they have not been called to judge, to heal, and to discern me. So anyway, I can't sit at that table, because as I went through each traumatic experience, doors were closed for me to connect with certain type of people. But on the flip side, doors were open for me to be connected to certain types of people who have gone through and made it through the other side and can reach out to other people and help them. With that being said, I can't sit where I no longer belong. With each abusive relationship I was in, I withdrew from my family. I didn't want to reach out to them because I didn't know how. I was afraid and wasn't able to connect with people for a little while. And when I finally came out on the other side with my son's dad, I actually felt like I came up from air from drowning. But I wasn't the same Bernadette. This new Bernadette who has to heal needed a different circle. A different circle of people who could heal me and say, it's okay, or are you okay, or it's not your fault. What are you going to do now? Let's heal. And everybody's not able to do that, because everybody has not had that in their system, or that need. Everybody has not had a need to heal and to fix things, because sometimes people have been fine. And so I wanted to share that sometimes you have to get up from a table that you no longer fit at, because you have been through so much, that your tribe is a tribe of people who will nurture you and heal you and relate to you and understand you. And go where you are celebrated. Go where your strength is celebrated, where your story is known, that you're coming out on the other side. Your ministry is your healing and encouragement to someone else. I lost some of this message. I'll come back about it later on. It helped me release my some family that I have wanted to get back close with for years. I understand that we will never be who we were before I was a child, before all the abuse, because they have gone down a different path, not by their own design, but by, you know, where their lives led them. I had to go through some trauma. I had to go through some healing where I can no longer communicate without being a healer. That's it for now. I won't hold it against them that they can't be there to heal me. I won't hold it against them to say, well, I'm sorry, because they don't know what they're apologizing about. They wouldn't know what they were accepting anymore, because abuse and trauma is an uncomfortable thing. That is all for now, I guess. Talk to you soon. Bye. But that's what I'm saying. If you can't stay there because you have been through so much, don't stay there. There's people on the other side there for you. No slight against your family. It's just that you no longer can be served by that table, because you can't sit there and have these little jokes about their sex life maybe or whatever and stuff. You can't sit there and verbally abuse somebody that's not even there because you've been verbally abused. Yeah, you're different. They're not bad people. You're not bad people, but your path is different.